Hey there, so in this video I'm going to be making soup. So I actually picked out, I'm going to do a vegetable soup, but I actually add ground beef in it. So yeah, it's a family recipe that I've been eating for years, so I thought why not make it? It's one of my favorite soups. So like I said, it's vegetable, but I do add ground beef. So I went ahead and I was sweating the vegetables just to save time. I figured no need to show me cutting them. So if you can see, pretty color of the rainbow. So I have squash, fresh green beans, carrots. I did throw some garlic in there, as well as just some onion. So those I already went ahead, kind of gave them a sweat that way, you know, because they will cook more in the broth. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this into the stew pot. I am actually going to add some portobello mushrooms. I didn't want to saute them really, just because they're already going to get mushy. So I just throw these in here after. Okay. And I did pre-wash all the vegetables, of course, and I peeled the carrot as well. So I'm going to go ahead and kick up the heat on this. Okay. So now I'm going to add a whole thing of bone broth. I use chicken bone broth. That's my favorite. I use bone broth for all the health benefits when I personally cook. So I'm going to go ahead and add a whole container of this. And then I also have some organic diced tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and see what about half a jar does first. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and add the whole jar. Gives it kind of that vegetable-y flavor. Go ahead and get a spoon. And for the green beans, I used about half a bag. I cut up two squashes. I did one large carrot and then half an onion, and then I put 2 garlic cloves. Okay, so I'm going to take Italian seasoning. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons. Okay, just to give it some nice flavor. Like I said, I'm going to put this on high. Alright, and I personally like to add red pepper flakes. I do not measure them. I love spicy, so I'm just going to heavy that. Okay? Just do a little bit of ground pepper. Go ahead and stir this up. Okay, so the amount of time that I normally cook this is basically until the vegetables are tender. I did sweat them, but like the green beans, you know, they're still pretty hard. The squash could use a little more, so that's kind of what I'm going to judge it by. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, bring this to a boil. I do have some cauliflower gnocchis. I've actually never put them in the soup, so I thought today would be a fun day to add just a couple of those in there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and let this come to a boil, like I said. And then, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start cooking the ground beef. Okay, so I just got done cooking the ground beef. I do personally use the organic grass-fed, so that's what I cooked over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to the soup. And give it a stir. Okay, and like I said, I did have the soup over here on high while I cook the ground beef. The reason I'm leaving it on high for a boil is because I'm going to add cauliflower gnocchi, and so I need a boil for them to float up. Okay, so here I have my cauliflower gnocchi. I'm not going to use them all, just because I do have ground beef and that is filling, so I'm just going to put a little bit in here, probably less than half. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and give this a stir. Okay, I'm going to bring it down to more of a simmer. Go ahead and put the lid on and let the gnocchi rise and the vegetables keep getting tender. Okay, so here is my final product of my vegetable soup with beef and cauliflower gnocchi. Okay, so now I'm going to taste it. So like I said, I've never used the cauliflower gnocchi in this particular recipe. Tastes amazing. It adds a completely different texture. Now the red pepper flakes and the pepper I just did to taste, and right amount of red pepper. Like normally I have to add hot sauce and sriracha. Not at all this time. This is probably one of the best batches.